I'm Heathers Simmon Jones, the interim CEO of the Greenwood Partnership Alliance. The Greenwood Partnership Alliance is the lead economic development entity for Greenwood County. And our chief goal is to make Greenwood the most livable and best place to do business of all communities in America. We currently are working on several key initiatives. Those include retail development, industrial development, quality of life components, as well as a variety of other things. The Greenwood Partnership Alliance, often in the community, is not a well-known organization, but we're trying to change that. Some of you may have recently noted the announcement of Colgate-Palmolive in Greenwood County. That is a result of community and teamwork with the leadership of our local officials and the Greenwood Partnership Alliance all working together. That investment, along with the investments of other companies such as Publix and Fujifilm, have resulted this year for 2013-2014 in excess of $255 million of investment. We're excited to know that there are many more projects on the horizon for Greenwood County. We are currently working with about $650 million of additional investment, as well as about 700 additional jobs through our project pipeline. We also continue to work tirelessly on initiatives that will increase the quality of life for Greenwood County. Currently, we are focused on how we can best utilize the lake as an attribute and asset in our community, and are looking at the opportunity to do some additional retail and commercial types of development associated with that. In terms of our targeted industry, Greenwood County actively pursues the biomedical field. With Greenwood Genetics Center being in our local community, it only makes sense that we continue to do those things which will support the Clemson Collaborative, the Greenwood Genetics Center, and the overall bioindustry in our community in the state of South Carolina. Additionally, we work with advanced materials companies and manufacturing, with the energy sector, and several others that we feel would be best served in locating in our community. In economic development, we often get accused of being very secretive, and that is for a reason. Often our clients or our prospects have asked us to sign a non-disclosure agreement, which means that we are bound legally not to give out any information regarding their project. Often that is not only for the length of the project before it announces, but often after the project announces as well. So you often hear us refer to projects by name as Project Dixie, Project Pine, Project Storm, Project Consultant, Project Piedmont, and really those are just protected ways of keeping the company's identity out of the mainstream media as well as out of their competitors' general knowledge, because sometimes products are so sensitive in terms of how they're competing to get them to market. So currently we are working with a project called Project Dixie that seeks to invest in excess of $300 million in Phase 1 in Greenwood County. Now, I won't tell you that that's a done deal. We certainly are still in a competitive process competing against other sites in other states, but we have been working that project for over 2 years. And that just goes and speaks to the fact that economic development is not something that happens overnight. It is a long-term proposition, which is why we have to have short-term goals as well as long-range goals. Those short-term goals may bring to fruition some of the quality of life component parts, whereas our long-term goals may include these 2- and 3-year time frames for recruiting major manufacturers to Greenwood County. Additionally, Project Pine is one you hear our organization speak to a lot, and Project Pine is about $92 million in capital investment, about 70 jobs, and we hope that Project Pine will be something that we'll be announcing in the next couple of quarters, so we're feeling very positively about that. We also have started a little bit of a whisper campaign, if you will, about an initiative that certainly will be big news once it is made fully public, but that's the Greenwood Promise. And so I would offer that as a teaser to folks to certainly be on the lookout for the Greenwood Promise. And that in essence is an initiative to endow tuition dollars for students graduating from high schools in Greenwood County. So we would be, if we're able to pull off the endowment, we would be the first community in the southeast to have a Promise program. So please keep your ears and eyes open for that as you hear more stuff coming out. So the Greenwood Partnership Alliance is a public-private economic development nonprofit, and it goes without saying that the public-private model is only successful when you have your public bodies, your public utilities, as well as your private sector involved in economic development. So thank you certainly goes out to all of those companies that invest in the Greenwood Partnership Alliance, all of those public sector entities that put their dollars in to our organization, because it is with those funds and that support that we are able to bring quality economic development programming to Greenwood County, as well as quality jobs and increased wages for our residents. So thank you to each and every one of those for the solid commitment you've made to the partnership.